Hello, Ignite. I've suddenly come down with imposter syndrome, and I'm very nervous, strangely. But I'm going to talk to you tonight about embracing the passion behind great works of interactive art. I'm just going to pause here for a moment. I started out as a child, really passionate about Darth Vader. This is my homemade Darth Vader costume. Yeah. And so this idea of like wearing black and interacting with technologies just kind of stayed with me the whole time. And I will talk about highfalutin things like physical computing and interactive art, but really I just want to be a Sith Lord. So I'm a digital artist, and that intersects with interactive art, but there's some, everyone loves a Venn diagram, right? So not all interactive art is digital, but a lot of it is. And it started in 1925, Marcel Duchamp, all hail. There's a lot of things you could say about this piece, but the most important thing to me is the idea that there's a button, and you push it, and you're an agent in the artwork. And there's something, again, so deeply about the human experience that is the artist asking you to come in and be a part of it. This is Danny Rosen's Wooden Mirror. It's an iconic piece of interactive art. And this follows the sort of general trope of interactive art where you have a video pointed at people and something else is happening. But again, not always involving electronics or cameras. This is Leisha Clark's Dialogues piece. She's a neo-constructivist, part of the Tropicalismo movement, pardon my Portuguese. So here we have interactivity, but it's mediated not through machines. This is Condensation Cube by Hans Haacke. Again, you might not think of this as interactive art, but really what it's doing is it's reflecting what's happening in the room. It's reflecting temperature, it's reflecting human presence. The way the water moves inside the cube is no less interactive than a camera pointed at a room. This piece by Gordon Pask is part of the Cybernetic Serendipity piece, or gallery show in 1968. And the interactivity here is really between these different entities. It's sort of a robotic interactive piece. This is Sabrina Raff's Grower. Again, like Hans Haacke's Condensation Cube, we're looking at the carbon monoxide levels in the room, and this robot is literally creating a garden based on those levels and reporting what the humans are doing in the space. The robot is the garden. This is Raphael Lozano-Hemmer. I always mispronounce his name. This is Pulse Room. And so this is a piece where your heartbeat fills the space with luminosity, right? That your heartbeat is amplified into this room. This is Text Rain. This is a piece by Camille Utterbeck. And this is sort of, again, the standard trope of interactive art where you've got a video screen and there's something happening and you're playing with text. But that's sort of a problem, you have these sort of people and they're trying to figure it out. There's sort of a gamification that happens with interactive art. But this piece by Gary Hill, this was at the Henry last year, it's called Withershins. It's this maze and you travel through it and you trigger sound. And in those kinds of pieces, people get sort of confused and it's sort of gamified for them. They're trying to figure it out. So what he did is he just said, here's a map. Here's a bunch of Post-it notes. Here's everything you're going to find as you walk through it. If you need to figure out what's going on, here it is. But don't be distracted. Just go back and enjoy the artwork. Robert Rauschenberg in 1968, Open Score. Let's put some radio receivers on tennis rackets and make tennis into sound art that turns off lights. Not quite sure what that's about, but worked for people. If we think back to Leisha Clark's dialogue piece, here we have a dialogue happening between Montreal and Paris. Like, let's just look at each other through the same tube. It's the same exact interaction, right? Let's look at other forms. So we've got heartbeats, right? We've got other human interactions. Let's take brainwaves and just turn them into like a kaleidoscope on the ceiling. Why not? Who doesn't love brainwaves? We start to get towards telekinesis, kind of a Darth Vader thing, right? And finally, this piece is this is Osmos by Char Davies. Is sort of the best-known virtual reality artwork in the world. It's a hard piece to document or show, and it's got sort of the standard headset, but what's really exciting for me about that is that it uses lung power to navigate, so your breath is what moves you through the space. This is my work. This is me experimenting with interactivity. This is from a show called Northern Electronic Research Division, or NERD. This is another piece called Ex Voto Machina. It's hard to explain quickly, so okay, so I'm using brainwaves, and I'm reading Rudyard Kipling into a dual rack and pinion system I've made on a laser cutter with this encaustic fabric, because Darth Vader, I don't know. That's all I got. All right, thanks, you guys.